Hey guys, welcome to Model Netizen here. My name is Herman.
And I'm Valerie.
This is a podcast about the more so creative and business side of the K-pop industry, which we're all such fans of. First of all, we want to apologize if you guys hear any music leaks. No copyright strikes, please. Second of all, we're Hispanic and our parents are blasting music downstairs. And we just said, screw it.
Fuck it.
Let's just go. Do the work, am I right? So anyway, do you want to talk about what this episode's going to be about?
Yeah, so in this episode, we're going to be talking about the promotion cycles of groups, mainly like groups that are already established. So this isn't really for like debut groups. This is more for like, like groups that have been at it for at least I'd say like to the point where they're not a rookie yet, or anymore rather.
Or any comeback, right?
Yeah, any comeback after being a rookie, after debuting, yeah, any comeback.
Which, by the way, really quick, before we jump into that first bullet point, we are somewhere between 10 to 20% drunk right now because it's Valentine's Day and our family has a tradition of like having a nice dinner and drinks and shit. So we're somewhere in that range. We're not going to tell you what. Actually, you know what? 0 to 20%.
Yeah.
One, because we want to be mysterious.
Yeah.
And two, because we might fade out by the time we...
Oh, yeah. So it's
might come down. So we just want to forewarn you in case we slur our speech, say some dumb shit.
I literally already slur.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so first I kind of want to mention the importance of the length of promotion cycles. So as you could see, especially during the last few years, veteran groups have been getting like lesser and lesser time promoting. So typically it's about 2 weeks now. Like Infinite came back a little over a month ago. And their promotions were literally only 2 weeks.
How long was SNSD again? 1 week or 2 weeks?
I think it was, I want to say 1 week.
1 week, right.
I think it was 1 week.
I don't know if that's I don't know what that says more about. The industry, the label.
Yeah, it's kind of like
the shows.
It's kind of a mixture of everything. Because I doubt it's the shows because like...
They're like, yeah, well, that's ratings.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like it's, like if anything, they want like more time for them to be on the show. Whereas the label, like if they're not feeling it, I guess, this comeback, like in terms of like giving the group like promotions and stuff, sometimes like we get like the 2 week long promotion cycles, which I kind of understand, but it's still kind of like, come on, like you could do a little more. Whereas with like newer groups,
current to newer,
like I'd say like rookie to like, I say like 3, 4.
I was gonna say like I think 5 years is that cutoff point where you're a veteran.
Yeah, basically
5 and up, you're a veteran.
Yeah, I was gonna say So like after like from rookie to 5 years, typically the promotion cycle is about 5 to 6, maybe more weeks if you're like NCT, which I think for Limitless. For Limitless, I think it was literally like because it came out in like very early January, I remember, and then in like February or like mid-February they were like still at it, and I was like, oh my, because was it My First and Last that they kind of like overlapped with NCT Dream,
which is real awkward when you guys take that extra second to realize that Mark and Haechan are in both units.
So they had to like
literally dress up real quick, like change.
So it was just like for those like in those rare situations you get like the longer promotion cycles, so like you're pushing like 7, maybe 8 weeks if you're like, and I think 7 cents was like 2 months or something.
A little awkwardly long.
Yeah, like too long.
Yeah, which is weird because NCTU back in the day was more experimental. They weren't really a real group.
Yeah.
I mean, the weird part is that they were a real group, and if anything, we could talk about this because NCTU is actually going to come back finally. Yeah. But basically, which we joked about in like a few episodes ago. But basically, like NCT as a whole was this weird concept. So like, was NCT a real debut? Was it not? Was it?
Yeah.
It was 127 like, hard.
So that's like kind of the whole deal with like the length of promotion cycles. And then we get like music shows, which
that was just like the overall time.
Which I think it's important to note because there's reasons for that, obviously, like for one group having like 7 week promotions and another group having 1 week promotions. So in terms of music shows, I'm a very avid watcher of music shows. For every group that I stan, I typically watch like, I want to say all live performances.
Like every day you just catch up.
Yeah, every day. And music shows kind of go on from Wednesday to Monday. Tuesday's like the only day that there's like
a break.
Yeah, there's like a break.
Can you say real quick what each day is?
Yeah, so Wednesday's like the first day of the week music show wise. That's Show Champion. Thursday is M Countdown. Friday is Music Bank. Saturday is Music Core, and Sunday is Inkigayo, and then Monday is the show. So yeah, like it's like a whole thing, yeah. So I just think it's important also to note that like the more music shows you go on, obviously like the more promotion you get literally, because you're exposing yourself to like different eyes and stuff. Because
well, I was gonna say literally. I think that's what you're about to say, but it's like let's say you're I might be stretching here, but let's say you're a college student, right? Like, if you have class on Tuesday and Thursday and not on Monday or Wednesday, right? What if you tune in on Monday or Wednesday and not Tuesday or Thursday? That person will have seen you.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the thing, is that these shows you need to be on every single day, because you don't know who will see you when. If that makes any sense, right?
Yeah. And it's also just a matter of like increasing the probability of like getting views, which is kind of what you're saying, like just increasing the possibility of like more people watching you perform live. And it kind of gets to the point where it's like you see them so much. Like this is more towards like for the Korean audience, because they actually switch on their TVs to watch music shows. For us, we have to go to like YouTube or whatever. But for them, where they could just flip on, you know, whatever TV channel. What was my point with that? Like every day, what was I saying?
Are you an airhead? I'm playing. We're drunk. Remember that?
Yeah, remember that. That like
they flip on their TVs to actually watch these shows.
Yeah, so like if people like just every day they happen to flip, you know, KBS, SBS, NBC, basically, yeah, it's increasing your chances to get promoted.
And I feel like if you're a, you know, good old Korean family or teen, and you see like your faves performing every day on the different shows, doesn't that just on the bare surface make you just look good?
Yeah.
Like on a simple like surface, right? Like you just look good.
Yeah, like if you mean if you go on all the
times.
Yeah.
Apologies. Apologies.
Yeah, but we don't talk about YG.
Oh, right. So it actually rant about that. So which shows does YG go on? How many times? How many?
So for like several years, they only went on Inkigayo, and then only recently, I think it was late 2016. I want to say they also started going on Music Core. Yeah, Music Core. But they only post the Inkigayo performances on their channels, if that makes sense. Like they don't have the complete rights to post Music Core performances on their channel.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whenever you see a performance on like let's say Blackpink's channel, it's from an Inkigayo performance. So that's probably like, because I feel like because YG is very known to like not be good at compromising between like companies. So like that's why like they like no one goes on M Countdown or, you know, all the other shows that I listed before, is because I guess there's like problems within the companies and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
there's just like, I mean, to put it simply, there could be like, you know, beef.
Yeah, it's probably just, what do you just
Sorry, it's still recording. I pressed the button and it was just like it just flashed.
So yeah, there's just probably beef between the broadcasting companies. But recently, yeah, like I was saying before, NBC kind of loosened that and like let them.
Is it NBC? Are you sure? I thought it was JTBC. I mean, that's another.
JTBC is not
another thing.
They're not really like a major
that's
thing.
Else,
so like, I guess there's less like, you know what I mean. But what's it called? So yeah, Music Core, NBC kind of let loose a little bit, but I feel like they're still kind of holding it back because, like I said before, they can't, like YG artists can't post Music Core videos on their channel. You know
what's weird is that it looks backwards from our Western system. And again, this is like what this podcast is about, right? It's like all these details. I'm taking a class right now called the book that I have, the textbook is for a class that I have called Media and Technology in the Entertainment Industry, right? My major is Entertainment Management. So in this book, I'm reading about music royalties and publishing and licenses, right? And believe it or not, the way it works here is if you're a writer or a producer or blah blah blah, right? And like the companies to broadcast your songs have to give them permission. I mean, obviously it's a different system, but I'm just making the comparison. So I think it's hilarious when you're saying like that you don't have permission to post the video of your song.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious. And it's just, again, this is like the whole thing is we're pointing out the little nuances, like, right?
Yeah.
Of like this industry.
And I think it also has to do with like, it was broadcasted on NBC's channel, so they have like partial, not full.
It's probably
rights.
a deal.
Yeah, it's just like a deal.
Like if you come to our show, thank you, right? Like, and you're gonna get promotions and this and that, but we want on Twitch we call it the VOD. It's the video on demand, right? It's the recording.
Those views, because
views.
Yeah, because if you notice, if you go to Blackpink's performances or Icon's performances on their channel, they have way more views than the actual Inkigayo video on SBS Inkigayo's YouTube channel, and that's obviously because fans would rather
give YG the view.
Yeah, give YG or whatever group the view.
Which is very likely why the other network doesn't want to do it. Because they want to have that power.
They want to have those views and stuff. And yeah, that power. Which, yeah, I think that's interesting. It was definitely like a deal. Like I feel like SBS is like completely cool with YG and like lets them do whatever.
Which, by the way, this is a point that relates to all that, but we didn't write down actually, is that's why I believe that when Fearin, I think it's Lowen that owns 1Decay.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
If you have Lowen as a distributor, that's I really hope they stop playing shit. It just got real quiet.
Yeah.
You know, Lowen owning 1Decay is, and you being on 1Decay also helps you because one of two things happens. One, people who didn't know about you, who are subscribed or who just like 1Decay, which by the way, 1Decay is a distribution platform, right, for videos. Like, what's this video? Blah, 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 and they click on you.
Yeah, and they're really big, yeah.
Or two, people know about, let's say, I think is it 17? That's on 1Decay also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
So let's say, yeah, you're a Pledis artist, right? You go to the channel of the artist, and then you have the song also being distributed on 1Decay. It gives you multiple chances of being seen.
Yeah, and they both count for like...
And they both count.
Yeah.
It says 1Decay has started, I want to say they started putting it, but I want to say it's always there.
Yeah.
They say explicitly, these views, don't worry about going to us versus the Faves channel.
Yeah.
It counts. It's okay.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that, like, going through a distribution platform, Soundbugs is another one.
Yeah,
1Decay.
CJEN Music.
They have one.
CJEN?
Yeah, CJ. And I think those are the top three. Is Lowen, Bugs, CJ, Genie, and Melon are just like musical like streaming services, but
yeah, it's mainly I noticed 1Decay is like the biggest one that
like distribution.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in real quick.
So we should move on, right?
Yeah, sure.
So another important part of promoting is getting yourself on variety shows.
Which, by the way, just real quick, right? Like, some of them that exist are Happy Together, which is more like I've noticed for like, not just idols. First of all,
yeah, it's like.
Second of all, they're always like, it doesn't have to be, but a lot of them are more known acts. Like new rookies aren't really on that show.
No, yeah.
Because the MCs are older, so they're more like veterans MCs. You have Hello Counselor. You have Knowing Brothers.
Knowing Brothers is like.
That's a really good one.
That's like one of my favorites.
It's probably one of the standard ones now.
No, yeah. Weekly Idol and
Weekly Idol is the absolute, like, you guys, Weekly Idol is probably the best one as far as recognition. Yeah. Because if you see two old guys and then a white room, like they're just in a soundstage.
Yeah. Knowing Brothers is like getting to on that level basically.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's
there's a lot.
Running Man?
Running Man, yeah, that's like more physical though.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like literal variety.
Yeah.
It's literally like games. You know what I mean?
But yeah, that's like kind of a handful of popular variety shows, and obviously those are important for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Just like to show like your variety skills, literally.
Your personality.
Yeah, your personality, which is like half of the reason why people stan idols is because of the personality. showing that like if you're really funny, that might give someone, like, how to explain it, like, I know some people who bias someone just because they're hilarious, you know what I mean? So that gives that notoriety, is that the word?
It could be notoriety, like, for example,
to a
if
specific idol, you know what I mean?
like literally on Knowing Brothers, right? There was a joke, and you've probably seen this on like Instagram or Twitter even, but there's a joke. There was B.I., June, Bobby, and I want to say Yoonhyun, and then Seungri from Big Bang.
Yeah.
And there was a joke that happened, a really awkward but funny moment where they're talking about a girl called Mary. Did you see that?
Wait, continue.
Okay, well, basically, B.I. was the one talking, right? And in Korean, you know, the way that you say, he was saying Mary and I.
Yeah, I
right?
remember that, yeah.
And the way that you say Korean and is, well, one of the ways is wa, and the way you say me is na. Put together, Mary and I in Korean. Mary wa na. And Seungri, and B.I. just unsuspectingly said it. Uh-huh. And Seungri was like, oh, wait, hold on, wait a second. Pronounce that very clearly because, and he said in the proper translation, he was like, YG artists have to be careful about that word.
What, Mary?
The whole word.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, so I was hoping that the joke was new to you.
Yeah. No, because I was like I remember, and I thought it was like a Korean like
a pun or something.
Pun or like a bad word or something.
So
and I didn't
B.I. said it really quickly. And so he was like, wait, stop. Say it clearly, because YG artists have a problem with this. So it's things like that where it's like this like clout that you build up and like this notoriety. You know, and Knowing Brothers I think is a good platform for being controversial.
Exactly,
it's very casual,
and it's like I know back then the time slot was later, so they could be more savage.
Yeah, but
now I think that they brought it more earlier. I think it's like at 8 or 9 now, so they can't be as savage, which is funny. But yeah, I really like Knowing Brother just because I feel like there's less, like, how do I explain it? Like, you can be, like...
more... And they even tell you in the green room, like...
Yeah, like,
you have to speak like,
informally,
casual.
like, casually to us. Just because, like, obviously, like, in Korean, you have to, like, respect your elders and you have to speak more... like, there's, like a separate way of speaking if you want to speak to an elder or someone who's, sunbae.
Like, for example, sunbae, right? Which is, like, you know... If you're like a level 1 weeb, it's a senpai. But like basically it's a senior. So like for example, the ultimate, well, they're all ultimate, but one of the ultimates that you guys definitely know is one of the hosts on that show is Heechul from Super Junior. And so like, you know, any music idol in this industry knows him. He's one of the most well-connected, well-known idols.
Yeah.
Right? So he's there as an MC. You're not going to disrespect him. So I heard for the first time, like I was watching that show, and like literally they were like, they're like speaking real informal. And I was like, wait, I literally busted into her room and I was like, hold on. I played the clip back and I was like, is this allowed? And she was like, oh yeah, they speak informally. They're actually directed to do that.
Yeah, and it's funny because a lot of Ricky groups who like go on the show, they accidentally speak formally to them, and they have to remind them, like,
hey, what?
No.
Like, they make a joke about it.
We're, like, in the same grade, because, like, it's, like, in school or whatever, like, that show. So it's, like...
Why are you speaking formally? Like, it's, like, a story.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, yeah, that's kind of, like, one of the reasons why variety is important, just to kind of showcase personality and kind of a different side to idols, just because, like, you know, the first impression that you have of idols is, like... their music,
almost.
Almost robotic, performance. Like, you only really take note of, like, their, like, musical talent, so, like, singing, dance, rap, whatever. And then, like, obviously, variety brings this whole other, like, dimension to someone. Like, there's people that I would never expect to be a beagle, and, like, they're a beagle, and it's like, oh my god.
You know who that for me was? Rip is Hoya from Infinite.
Yeah,
he was so funny.
He's like savage.
He was so, like, he'll be, like, dazed off in an interview, and they'll be like, Hoya, what are you thinking about? You're so quiet. And he'll say something, he never said this, but he'll say something like, yeah, no, I'm just thinking of how to overthrow this entire group and how to, like, blah, blah, blah. And, like, he'll just say some, like, wild stuff.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, what?
And I noticed there's different types of beagles. There's, like, the beagles where, like, what you say is funny, like, completely chill, but, like, you say hilarious
It's, like, left
shit.
field.
Yeah, and then there's obviously, like, the physical beagles, which I feel like is, like, what we know more of. Like, we notice more, like, when people are, like, physically funny. I don't know, like... physical comedy.
J Hope or something.
Yeah, like
Chanyeol.
Yeah,
These guys,
So yeah, what else?
Variety, but basically, just to like wrap that whole thing up, variety is so important, and as a label toward your groups or a manager, really, you should want to be selling your group and scheduling your group and maneuvering it in such a way where you're on every variety show possible, because one, it's about personalities a lot. Like, for example, I love super random example, right? I love Oh My Girl, or like, well, I was gonna say Cosmic Girls, but they're funny. I know about that, but I was gonna say basically like, I don't know how they are as people, so my standing only goes up to the music end.
Yeah.
The end of the music.
And then it does
What's
take...
there after?
Yeah, it does take, though, like, the person's will, I guess, to go and watch variety shows, if that makes sense.
But
like,
you're already, at that point, you're not committed, but you're like...
Yeah, like, you have to...
You're willing to go there.
But I feel like, at first, like, your first instinct, for the most part... I know there's some people who are more variety-based rather than, like, music or performance-based. But for the most part, people tend to start with the music / live performances.
That's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah, exactly. And then you become invested, and then you want to get into the variety... which I guess for you, like, you just haven't gotten to the point where you want to dig into the variety and all that stuff.
Like, yeah, that's my point. It's like what you're saying is the music takes you to a certain point, and then beyond that, it's up to you to its next point. And if you're in love with that point as well, that's when you're like for me, that was like just again another example, 17, right? Like 17 is my favorite current gen, like new group, right? So like that's what happened. It all started with the simple nigga hosh. And from there, I down spiraled. But point I'm trying to make is that, and actually, if we didn't write this either. If we can spin that, and we mentioned that, I believe last week or the week before, on the note of variety, like Bangtan Bombs, or like what's the equivalent, like
Luna TV.
Luna TV, where they're like these snippet.
The Mamamoo one.
Yeah, there's like a snippet, like maybe like a minute long, or maybe even less. And what it is like like crazy shit that happens backstage at a thing.
Yeah.
Or like in the practice room.
And what I like about Bangtan Bombs is that a lot of times it's from like a long time ago. Like I think recently they uploaded like one from the AMAs. And like I like how they kind of bring back and also like the what's it called? The diary, the BTS like diary. I think they were just called that, like BTS diary. And it's just like the name of the video is just like the date and then like the person's name, and it's kind of like they talk about like whatever's going on, literally like a diary entry or whatever. What time is it?
I think it says 24 now. Yeah.
Okay. And it's cool because like today's February 14th. And then they would have a diary from like November of last year.
Yeah, it's like a prequel.
Kind of, yeah, like just showing like where they were back at that moment in time, which I think is cool.
That's a really good idea. So that's another like little. It's not quite a formal variety show, but it's like you're just showcasing your
that's more for
personality,
like, reality, yeah.
But if you notice, like, there's always like twice TVs at the same time. There's always like,
GOT7 is always like every comeback. They have like
a new show,
thing, like a little show or whatever,
a new series. The next one, I'm gonna let you say it, but the next one's different from anything we're talking about now. It's real interesting. I didn't know how the system works until like months ago, but go ahead. I'm gonna let you go into the next point
fan
here.
signs?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So we all know and have seen fan cams and stuff of like fan signs and like your biases, like interacting with fans and stuff. And it's a really cool way to like connect with fans, obviously, like face to face actually. But it's also a good way straight up to increase album sales because the way that you get into fan signs is you have to literally like it's by chance, and they I'd say like a few days before the fan sign actually happens, or maybe the day before, I'm not sure, but they have like a list on like I think the fan cafe of the actual group, and they have like a whole list of like who got into the fan sign based off of chance. And obviously to increase the likelihood of getting in, you have to buy hella albums. Yeah,
like you buy an album and you have, that chance, right? Like you buy one lottery ticket, I don't know, I'm trying to example, you have that chance to win. But so they buy 70 albums.
Yeah, to get in.
To get 70 potential chances.
The thing that I'm kind of confused on is I think you have to buy the albums from a certain like online store or something. Like I don't think if we get it,
It could just be like if it's like on the charts, count it, or like any stores where it's
or
official.
Like serial number. I don't know. Like they see like the barcode. I don't know. Like or like that silver sticker that comes on albums. Maybe I don't know. Like there should be a way to count it, but
the thing is that like if this is gonna be like maybe I'm assuming it's this simple, but if you buy like that red flavor, that red summer album, that is from Korea, objectively. So then my thing is like, how do they track or not track you? Because if you entered and you all of a sudden won, and you're just, and we joke about this all the time, it's like imagine being like a Westerner and like you win, like you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna fucking enter it just to like see, and you win, and you're just like, what matters is that I got in, because like you can't make it. You can't. I mean,
exactly.
Chances are. I mean,
and we're probably like spring bullshit. There's probably like more clarity on that. Obviously, like somewhere online, it's probably not that hard to find.
Yeah, if anything, what we can do is either in the description or over the video, we'll just interlay some stuff here. But point is that fan signs are a good way. One, fans to connect, which again makes them like you as the idol more. Two, if you want to be more business sided, it raises sales.
Which it's basically a win-win situation.
It's a win-win. Yeah. And if you, like, for example, we buy albums, right? Which, on some bullshit, we should do like a tour of like you and I's collection one day.
Yeah, later, because I still have
some to go.
Big way to go.
Yeah, but basically, like we could have won something. So it's like,
and I think you have to enter also.
You have to enter, but like if you
like, I don't think it's just I don't think it's just like the barcode and like you're entered. No, I think it's like you have to physically enter.
But yeah, no, that was about it for like fan signs.
Yeah,
that's a good thing to do. You can take on to the next topic. If you want.
And this kind of goes more with like variety and like making appearances on TV and stuff and shows, which is reality TV. It's much more common, I feel like, recently, like to do, like we were saying before. I feel like I see the GOT7 stuff. Where they kind of like just film like while they're promoting and stuff backstage and stuff. For some reason I see that as like reality TV. And Hard Carry back then, that was like really good. I saw it like about a year ago. I watched it, and it's actually a really cool way to like, I don't know, like, because it's different from variety, because variety is more like you're just trying to be funny and you're trying to do like all this like wild, funny shit, be wild. But reality is just like literally just real, like it's just you. And obviously like if you're funny, you're funny, but like I feel like it's a lot less pressure because it's usually made for the group specifically. In terms of with Hard Carry, it was made by the group for the group, which I think is really cool. But most of the time it's made like on behalf of like a broadcasting company or whatever, and they make it for the group. So for example, like One Fine Day, it's obviously,
so now you're talking right now network reality. I call it network reality versus like vlogs.
It's because there's different types of reality. Like One Fine Day is like NBC,
Showtime,
NBC.
Things like that.
Showtime is also NBC, and like that's obviously like I feel like they're the ones who choose the group that's going to be on the show. You know what I mean? Like it's not network? Like the network. Like if it's a big enough group, like they're the ones who pick it out. And then
hold on a second. So basically, camera cuts off at 30 minutes. You guys get the drill. You guys know by now. It's part of our lore. You were talking about how the networks get to choose who go on their shows.
Yeah, and it's a bit more like, obviously there's a whole budget and everything, but I feel like even then it's still like the fact that it's for that group, like uniquely or whatever. I feel like that's kind of, I personally like reality better than variety sometimes. Especially like except for when it's like I just really love Knowing Brothers and Weekly Idol, so like those are like exceptions.
Those
but,
are like the
but like I feel like I kind of drift towards reality more. For example, NCT Life, which that was like our first.
Technically.
Yeah, our first.
Well, for me it was.
Yeah, I think so.
For me it was. For me it just straight up was.
Yeah. That was like your first, like NCT was like his first I guess, entry into like this whole world. But
yeah, SM Rickies / NCT in the sense of like, you know, I
literally, did I mention this before? I literally, like a few days after Seven Sense came out, I literally made him sit down.
She wanted my reaction.
Headphones on, 1080p, full screen, just like watch this art. And yeah, obviously like he fell into the black hole. But anyways, yeah, we watched NCT Life kind of together. I remember kind of together.
Well, the my own little rumor is, which is true. I just call it rumor. I saw Seventh Sense, and I think I accidentally clicked on the teaser of Without You. I thought it was the real song.
Really?
I didn't even look at the timestamp. I was like, without NCT Without You, what? And I saw like tails and the thumbnail. So I clicked it, and I was like, whatever this song, and I found out it was a teaser. Obviously, it was like 30 seconds, and I was like, I love this genre. So I actually looked for the song, and then like on that related videos, it was like the V-App. I don't want to call it a showcase, but it's like the Hichil.
The first. What's it
the
called?
First like variety show they were on.
Yeah, like
basically.
yeah.
It was their own proprietary SM made a V-App stream with Hichil's MC and the 6 members.
That. No, I literally saw that live while taking a shit at school. I'm not even kidding.
I wish that was my case. I personally saw it without subs.
Yeah.
That same time. I was like, same. I just want to see how they are.
Exactly. Because NCT was also like one of my first like experiences at K-pop wise. Because I first got into Big Bang, and then EXO, a little bit BTS, and then NCT. And then what's it called? So like I remember like this whole feeling of like being into their music, obviously the 2 songs that they had at the time. Yeah. And then I remember seeing this like the what do we call it? Like not showcase, yeah, like the live stream,
the app thing,
like variety interview show thing with Hichil. And I remember like feeling like this weird like, oh my god, like these are people that like are funny and cool.
Also, I didn't know how the training and company and management system works, so I thought that, you know how like band, like for example like One Direction, just a random example, they didn't know each other before before they made a group. They were contestants on the show and they were put together. They really? Were banded together. They were on X Factor. And they all lost, but Simon Cowell saw the potential, put them in a group together, and they became what they became. I thought that's how it worked. So I was like, you know what I was gonna see? I was like, these 6 people are so they're so cool, all 6 of them, that like, how are they like with each other?
Yeah.
Right? Because we see so many times in the West, like bands, like for example, like One Girl left freaking Fifth Harmony. Like we see all this of Zayn left One Direction. Like we see all these conflicts. So I was like, how are they? So I watched the show and I was like, not that I found out like more because it was just one show.
Yeah.
But then I started watching NCT Life and I was like, wait a second. This, because I watched Seventh Sense again because that was in the afternoon. Seventh Sense again, Without You at night, V-App interview, full almost.
Yeah.
And then NCT Life 1. And then the next day, you're like, oh, look, there's subs. It's like a bootleg like channel. Like, they just ripped it. And then we watched it together.
Yeah.
And that's, by the way, I said this in episode 1. We didn't want to do whole intro spiels because you'll find out more about us as we go. This is me. This is my little history.
This is me.
This is exactly who I want to be.
So yeah, that's just kind of like what I felt when I first watched like NCT Life and like that like variety show thing.
But it worked.
It worked.
This is what we're talking about.
Like those made me stay. Like,
yes.
To become a citizen or whatever.
Yeah, well, now, right?
Now, yeah.
Season.
Or no, a rice opener.
Well, at the time, right? Neotech was better.
Yeah.
At the time. But yeah, reality, and you can kind of clump in the little Bangtan Bomb style shows with reality.
Yeah, that's basically
because they're not always comedy. They're like sometimes like. You know,
and some normal groups like I noticed I'm obviously missing some, but I know Infinite and I remember seeing FX had a lot, like they both have a lot of like reality shows, like not every comeback, but like at least once a year they have like a whole show. Obviously for FX that stopped I think in 2015 and then Infinite 2016.
And that what you're about to say right now is what I was going to say next. I had to touch on this. It's very important. The reasons why reality shows trump variety shows for the companies is because you can't make, technically, you can't make Knowing Brothers.
Yeah.
But you can make, Winner TV or Blackpink House.
You mean like from the label?
Like if you're YG, you can make Blackpink House.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Like you have the control.
You have the control. And the distribution is up to however you choose.
Yeah, and if...
Do you want to partner with the actual network? Do you want to partner with an online distributor? Do you want to partner with no one and just release it on YouTube and VLive?
Yeah.
Do you want...
Which is kind of the new way to do it.
But that's my point. You can, as a company, you have the ability, you have the choice of going with, Infinite. You're going to go with Showtime, super formal, like, actual show with, like, a whole crew and cast. Yeah. Or do you want to go with, like, some DSLRs and, like your own staff?
Carry.
Like vlogs.
Yeah, it was literally like that.
You can do that and edit it good.
Yeah, and even though, like, sure, like, a variety show or reality show purely released on, like, VLive and YouTube, sure, it's gonna get you less money, but, like, I guarantee you it's gonna get you more of a following. Because I feel like, obviously, the way that the times are moving, I guess, everything's on, like, free streaming services. So, like, YouTube, VLive, and that's the way to connect at this point. So I feel like when things are released that way, it's just obviously, like how we were saying before, it kind of opens up the possibilities for, like, creating a larger fandom. Like, imagine if a group never, like, they don't have a VLive, they don't even have a YouTube, and they, like, just do stuff on TV. Like, I feel like it doesn't work as...
It's not the same.
It's not, the same, and it doesn't work as smoothly, and, like, it's just, like, you're refusing to accept reality. Like, I don't know, like, why would a new group or label do that to a new group? You know what I mean? Like, not opening the options, I guess.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
That's not bad. I was actually going to say, because we were talking about these digital platforms, if you want to just jump into this just down here. Digital as well. Yeah, so this is, like, I feel like this happened more... Like, post 2016, or 15, 16.
Web dramas?
No, this.
Oh, VLive, yeah. Sorry. I thought you were looking at that. Which, yeah, like we were just talking about, VLive. It was launched in late 2015, I think. Yeah, like 2015.
So even what I said, by default, regardless.
Yeah.
But it's Naver's, for those, not that you don't know, you probably know if you're watching the show. Yeah. But if you don't know, it's Naver. It's like this huge, like, conglomerate company in Korea. They're like literally the Korean Yahoo or Google. They are a dictionary. We know us weebs. We know Naver as the translator and dictionary. But they also are this overall corporation, and they own VLive.
Yeah.
There's like a streaming platform / streaming and live streaming, specifically both.
Yeah, mainly obviously for live streaming, VLive.
And these idols, these groups, the labels have their channels.
Yeah, and it's obviously, like, I'd say today it's like the best way to connect with fans, like, online. Like, I just feel like it's so easy, and, like, anyone can, like, literally anyone can watch it. Obviously now they've introduced Channel Plus and VLive Plus stuff, which you have to pay for, but I mean, like, VLive, it was completely free. Like, I feel like it's kind of... I'm like half, like, I kind of agree, but I kind of disagree with it.
With Plus?
Yeah.
I agree with it because it's an option.
No, yeah, it is an option, but there's exclusive content on that.
But that's the point. It's like for you to, like...
yeah. But it's...
To be enticed, obviously.
The stan in me disagrees for obvious reasons, but, like, the...
Wallet. The wallet.
The wallet. And, like, I just want to watch my faves. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want this barrier. But then again, I understand because, like, they need to make a buck. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm kind of torn on that. But I think I'm still subscribed to Infinite's Channel Plus. But, or am I? I don't know. I was.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, for people that I, like, really stan, I would obviously subscribe. But I wouldn't do more than, like, 2 people, I feel like. 2 groups. But all in all, yeah, VLive, I think, is, like, one of the best ways to connect.
For me, I mentioned this last time, I was on Sunmi's Instagram Live, and she read my comment out loud, and it's just, like, this weird feeling you get. I don't know if anybody out there has felt that before, but it's this weird feeling of just, like, you have taken from your hands a rake that you can usually use for leaves and have raked my face. Like, it's this feeling of like, I have been destroyed by the essence of you. And I'm here for that. And every time that you go live, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
You can rest your head on my shoulders. And that's this feeling that you get. That was all to say that, you know, when these idols interact with, I hope that you guys kind of read between the lines, but when an idol interacts with their audience, the audience is just that much more, it's more love. It's just that much more like for example, I was watching the Red Velvet live, where it's like it's spelled differently. Where they're like at nighttime and they have the bed set up and they're like about to go to sleep and this and that, like that whole like aesthetic. And like literally in the first minute, they were just reading people's names off.
Yeah, exactly.
And just like little things like that. Like people like...
Yeah, because first and foremost, the fans just want to see them doing their shit. Like, preferably in live time. For some reason, it gives like this weird like feeling of like I'm there with them. I don't know, like when you watch a live video. So first and foremost, like you just want to see like whatever they're doing. But then like if they read your comment, like that just adds you. Yeah, like for you, like that just adds a whole like other like feeling, which
reminds you that they're actually people.
Yeah, they're people and like they're living in this moment just as you are. Like,
you know what I think what gives them more allure to us is that they're in a different time zone.
Exactly, that's what I was
saying. So it's just like
it's like they're literally on their opposite side of the planet, and like you just read my comment.
They're literally and they're literally like you wake up, like I wake up to like, you know, 5 Jessica notifications. I don't know, random idol, right? And it's just like, oh, like, oh, haha, like, da-da-da. But then like, oh wait, no, like we were in sync for this one time.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
even if it's obviously different times, like for
whatever, however,
like,
you know.
But it's still like in this exact moment, regardless of the number on the clock
or whatever.
Like,
yep.
Where, you know, we're together. We're on the same wavelength.
In the same wavelength.
So.
Yeah. And that's what we were basically saying is like VLive and. In a way, social media is not a way for them to kind of interact. If you know, actually, some idols, like I've seen Bam Bam do it the other day. What? I think, basically like actually comment back to people.
Yeah, like I've seen Twitter, a handful of idols do that, but it's not really that common. I feel like I
just thought it was a quick mention. We have it as a little bullet point, but it's a quick mention where Instagram, Twitter are these platforms for the group to post for us, but their reciprocation of our interaction is not guaranteed. Yeah. Whereas VLive is more of a direct... Yeah. Well, it's live. Yeah. It's a direct...
Or Instagram Live.
Instagram Live. It's a real thing, so... That's all a quick mention. Now we can go back if you want to jump off.
Also, speaking of live, sorry. Yes. Today, during class, Bacon did an Instagram Live. I stepped out for it.
Are you about to serious?
No, I'm serious.
You said... This is important.
Yeah.
Not in your head. You were like, this is important. We're university students, by the way, so we have that liberty. Yeah. For all you youngins, and whether or not you choose to go to college, if you choose to go to college, it's a good privilege to have.
Yeah, you can just walk up
and just step out of the room, bitch.
Yeah.
What up, dog?
Yeah. Which one? Sorry, no.
No, that was a camera. Focusing.
Oh, okay.
The thing?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you have to strap over the lens, so I don't know.
I know, right? That's weird.
Not that matters, but...
So, yeah, live streams are, like...
super good.
Awesome, yeah.
Last point, right, for this... Go ahead.
Twitter?
No. That one we just quickly touched on right now, but this one, the main point.
Which one?
Right there.
Dramas.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, last point.
Yeah, this one is like, it's not as...
It's more old
common.
school.
It's more like, 2000s, 2010s.
Somewhat.
Yeah, some groups still do it, but it's basically the whole concept of, like, doing web dramas.
Or real dramas, if you got it like that.
Yeah, drama, like, that's... But then that happens later on in your career when you're, like, a veteran and you kind of delve into, like, the acting world and stuff. But I kind of want to talk about web dramas.
Well, yeah, no, and in case you go on, if you derail onto your own, path.
Yeah.
I just wanted to quickly mention the point, right? So the point we're saying is, a lot of times what these artists are, especially if the label that the artist pertains to in question, the comeback, if the label themselves are the producers of the drama, they'll time it with the album release, right? So
Which
that
we mentioned
last episode with JYP and Rain. We were talking about how, and if I could just use Rain as the example, right? Where Rain's album and his success in the drama boosted one another.
Exactly.
And that's what we're talking about. It's like, people who watch more dramas are like, oh, that guy's an idol. Let me check out a song. And the people who are like, I like this idol, and they're acting this drama, let me watch an episode. And then no matter how you go about it, you go down that black hole. So it's just, they promote each other. But you're going to go off of specifically web dramas.
Yeah, I feel like those are more like they happen a lot to like pre-debut groups who are about to like obviously debut. I've seen that with Luna. I haven't watched their web drama. I think they're gonna do a season 2 soon.
No, they did. It's called for those of you who don't know, it's called I Remember When We First Met. But
are they about to do season 2 or 3?
I don't even 3, because I saw literally in class one day, I was watching a trailer for season 2. I know because it was Odd Eye Circle was the main character.
Oh, okay.
It's a rotational cast show where obviously the Luna members are the cast, and the other actors, I don't know if they're in Polaris or what, but like the male actors are from other, they're just other actors, and it's basically to promote each other. Luna and the abbreviation is UMA now, but they kind of promote each other.
Yeah. And then also with GOT7, this wasn't pre-debut. This was, I think Stop It era. I think it's kind of drama or Dream Night. It's kind of cringy though. I watched through the whole thing and like
GOT7 refuses to speak on it.
Yeah, they literally like that's in their like book of like things we don't ever speak about again.
Which never happened.
Yeah, and it was like I don't know, like it. I cringed at like most of it, but like it was one of those things where it's like, I mean, like it's
content.
It's content, nah. So like I'm just gonna accept it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that, and then I know Astra also did a web drama pre-debut, I think. Yeah. And it's just kind of like to build hype, whether it's pre-debut or not. Even if it's during comeback promotions, like when it's being aired, I think it's really important. Same with like we were saying before, I'm just going to delve into that, like, idols who are actual actors and have dramas and stuff, when they, like, promote, or it doesn't always have to be, like, during promotional cycles, but just, like, in general, just, like, content from this person, which is content from this group, if that makes sense.
By extension,
yeah. Yeah, by extension. Like, Kai just, like, from EXO, he had a drama that it started in, like, I want to say November, and it ended, I think, January 8th. And then the next week, January, 14th or 13th, he had his Japanese drama start. So it's just, like, I miss EXO, but then it's, like...
But we have this content.
We have content, so I'm, like, fed, you know what I mean? And it helps that he's my bias, so, like... Yeah. Obviously, I'm going to watch. So, yeah, I just feel like...
And if you notice, by the way, if you guys have noticed, the people they choose to act, not always... But sometimes the people they choose in the groups who's going to be acting and not, a lot of times it's the popular members. Kai is very popular in EXO. A lot of people I've met, Kai is their bias.
Yeah.
And that's my whole thing. It's like L and Infinite, it's things like that.
Especially, I noticed he's popular, or Kai's popular internationally. Maybe.
Yeah, 100%. And that's our whole thing. It's like the labels 100%, maybe not 100%, but they know what they're doing, right? As far as promoting their acts on new mediums, right? New platforms, right? I don't know what the hell's going on right now for... Ironically, I just got a Chungha V-Live notification. But I don't know what's going on with YG and, like... Because they're starting a comedy show? Yeah. Is that still a thing?
I think, yeah. But they kind of just, like, dropped, like... one teaser, and then like they never talked about it again.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, they showed like little clips of like the different acts in YG, like One, Akmu, Blackpink, Winner, Icon, CL, blah blah blah, just like pitching ideas and talking about like in this round table, this like boardroom. Oh, this would be funny. This would be funny. This would be funny. And I don't think because the thing that Jinu is in right now is something else. Yeah, it's like a comedy, but it's something else.
Yeah.
Which by the way, just really quick reiterating, because we did finish our notes. We're done. Dramas or shows, blah, 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 help boost the album release, this and that, or just attention overall.
Yeah.
But other than that, so that's kind of the end of the notes. We actually finished the notes as intended, somewhat, for the first time. Maybe the first episode ever. Because I remember the second episode or something, we were like, I don't know if you remember, I was like, let's skip that. Not obviously, right?
Uh-huh.
The last episode, I was like, let's jump around, let's do this. We jumped around, but we still mentioned everything.
Yeah.
Be proud of us. But point is that, the thing is, I forgot what I was talking about, so I'm just wasting time
Basically, just like the importance of promoting your artist
all the
properly.
YG stuff. Huh? I was just talking about the YG stuff, but go ahead.
Oh yeah,
I remember.
Mm-hmm. We'll see when that comes out.
We'll see when that comes out.
Because I'm like I feel like I'm very aware of like when
releases and stuff.
Releases and like the way that a label handles the promotions and stuff. Yeah. Like, it's very, very easy to tell when like.
I'm almost angry at how, and we've expressed this in the past, but I'm almost angry at how YG neglects all of these things and still has as much success as he does.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's cool because you're finessing everyone, but it's almost angering where it's like.
Because the whole thing for like, this isn't something that people know straight up. This is more of a subconscious thing, but like, it's like a mysticism thing within YG artists that like they barely promote. They have maybe like 3 tops like variety appearances like for
only
comeback.
1 day a week in promotions.
Yeah, 1 or 2 days a week.
Music show promotion, yeah.
And it's just like it's almost like there's not enough, but it's like.
But they still get like.
It's like I'm being fed still, so I'm not gonna complain. You know what I mean? Which is, I don't know, it's weird. Whereas if you look at another label, like if
they're doing the work, yeah.
Yeah, if SM does that, like everyone's gonna complain. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I feel like it's just like this whole thing that kind of is part of YG's identity.
You know, if we can rant on that for a little bit, because we got like a few minutes left, I don't know. But I saw this Instagram post that was talking about like whenever YG posts about Icon, you know, people are like, it was in the format of a meme, so it's like more funny than the way I'm verbalizing it. But when they post about Icon, it's like, what, you don't care about Winner? Come on, man. Like, we gotta. When you post about Winner, people are like, what, you don't care about Blackpink? When you post about Blackpink, people are like, what happened to Lehigh? What happened to her? When you post about Lehigh, it's like, free Katie Kim.
Yeah, there's always something.
Yeah, when you saw free Katie Kim, it's like, so what? One was a gimmick, was one time release? Yeah. People always. People always have, about YG, something to complain say
about, yeah.
And I think that is the flaw of the way that he does things, is that there's just never enough for someone.
Yeah.
Right? Red Velvet came back and we're being fed to this day.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, NCT is dropping short films and teasers and images and stuff. So it's this weird like overlap.
I feel like SM always has something that they're like putting teasers out or like they're promoting in one way or another, which I don't know. Like,
JYP is also really good, but the thing is, he only has. It's about to change, but
it's very separate.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He only has no roasts to 2 p.m. But his main 2 acts right now is GOT7 and Twice, and whenever one of them is not doing anything, it feels like a drought.
Yeah.
When? If?
And Stray Kids.
Well, no, I was gonna say things are gonna change because now Stray Kids is coming out and. Ryujin and Somi and this and that, and like we don't know. Eventually. 2019. But point is, SM has so many acts under their belt that they can do whatever, like at all times.
There's always something happening like within SM, which in terms of promotion and like
that's how
stream of like content, like SM's probably my favorite out of the big 3.
Like straight up the work, like the output.
Yeah, like just doing this shit that needs to be done. So yeah.
Other than that, I think we're done with this episode. This episode was kind of a raging success because we were a little bit turned. We had the disastrous music playing loud as shit. We're Hispanic, sorry about that. But we made it through. Please no copyright strikes, all you big labels. Other than that, I am Herman.
And I'm Valerie.
This is Model Netizen, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, we're just... Instead of Super Junior?
Yeah.
See you guys.